Welcome to the Colorado Virtual College Fair. We'd like to thank you all for joining us this evening. Before we go into our panelist presentation, just a few quick housekeeping items to go over. As this is a webinar, students will be engaging with the panelists through the Q&A feature on the bottom or top of your Zoom, depending on how you have it set up. We do want to stress that you can use that Q&A button anytime during these presentations that you want. You can pose it to the presenter, you can pose it to any other panelist, but do feel free to engage with the Q&A frequently. Pose it to specific colleges or pose it to anyone if you have general questions, but that's going to be your main way of communicating with the panelists. We also want to remind you that your camera and your microphone are off, so panelists will not be able to hear or see you. Also, would like to encourage you to sign up for more sessions. This is just one of many college presentations happening. You can sign up for sessions on the same page that you signed up for this session. And also, about a week after this webinar, a recording will be available on that same website. So without further ado, I would like to introduce our first panelist, which will be Butler University.
Okay, so jumping right in. Good evening, everybody. My name is Andy White. I'm the Associate Director of Admission at Butler, and I work with all of our applicants from Colorado. Thrilled to be here with you this evening, and we'll just get right started. So Butler is located in Indianapolis, Indiana. We are a nationally recognized university with 6 academic colleges. We offer the College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences, the Performing Arts, Business, Communication, Education, and the Liberal Arts and Sciences. We're known for providing small class sizes, meaning no lecture halls, no grad assistants, no TAs. We have a whole host of opportunities to engage directly with our faculty from day one. We believe in real world experiences like internships and research with faculty mentors and live performances, etc. And we have world-class performing arts on our stages. In fact, we have Indianapolis's largest performing arts auditorium on our campus, and we see things like Broadway shows coming through every year. We proudly offer Division I athletics, and we compete in the Big East Conference. And so moving to some more specific information, with a unique undergrad population around 5,000, just under 5,000, we're able to offer teaching and learning dynamics that have an average class size of just 22. The student faculty ratio is 11:1, and we have a very, very small grad school population that doesn't really overlap with our undergraduate students. And so what this means is that you will be absolutely known by your professors. And we're confident that you'll connect with at least one faculty member, maybe several, who will personally help you find or cultivate your passions and help you find your profession. In addition to the outstanding teaching and learning dynamics, inside our classrooms, you'll work directly with our faculty members to conduct primary research on topics that you're actually interested in. And these are the kind of big projects that are usually reserved for grad students at many other schools, but these are opportunities that are going to be made available to our undergraduate students. And quite often the work that our undergrad students are doing with the faculty members will get published when they're complete. Changing gears very quickly, we offer one of the nation's best study abroad programs. So from short-term experiences like working full-time in someplace like Shanghai, to completing a leadership program in London, or a traditional semester at a partner university around the globe. We offer over 200 study abroad and exchange programs, and those are spread across more than 60 different countries around the world. So very quickly, for some now time for some shameless humble bragging, if you will. When it comes to our recent national rankings, there are 5 that we like to showcase. When it comes to first year experience, we're number 13 in the country. When it comes to senior capstone experiences, we're number 18. When it comes to study abroad opportunities, we're 19th. Co-ops and internships, we're 21st. And then service learning, we are 23rd. Zooming in a little bit closer to just the Midwest, for 5 consecutive years, we've been voted the #1 most innovative school in the Midwest for regional universities. And then overall, we've been ranked the #1 regional university in the Midwest for 2 consecutive years. Very quickly, just a little bit about our hometown. We live in the country's 17th largest city, and our campus is just about 5 miles from downtown Indianapolis. And I should note that we have neither an urban nor a suburban feel. It's kind of that old school, well-established city neighborhood, if you will. For residents in Denver, I always like to describe our campus as being something similar in size and feel to DU, with maybe a little bit more Gothic architecture, and then located in a neighborhood that's similar to Wash Park. I really hope those dots are able to be connected. We believe, and speaking of our hometown, we believe that real world experiences is foundational to the way our students learn. And we've been recognized for being well ahead of the curve when it comes to meaningful experiential learning opportunities, specifically like internships. And we think that our location gives us some definite advantages when it comes to securing an internship. In fact, almost 80% of our students will complete at least one. Many, if not most of those students will do a second, some even do a third or a fourth. And we're the only undergraduate business program in the country that requires 2 internships to graduate. A little bit more about Indianapolis. Indy was recently named to Forbes, one of Forbes' top 10 cities for business, especially in the areas of healthcare, education, finance, as well as the tech sector. And then some corporations that we partner with locally would be like the pharmaceutical giant Eli Lilly, Delta Faucet, Rolls-Royce, Salesforce, Cummins, Roche Diagnostics, and many, many more. And then just for some nerdy bragging, Indianapolis has the #1 airport in North America for going on 8 years running now. In terms of the application process, just some fast facts. These are the 5 moving parts that constitute a complete application for Butler. In addition to what you see on the screen, I should note that we have no application fee. We have no preference for Common App or the Butler app. In fact, about 80% of our students will submit the Common application. We're an early action school that is not binding in any way, shape, or form, and we have a November 1st deadline for EA. And then our review process is truly holistic. We're genuinely looking for reasons to admit students, and when we review an application, we're asking one question: will a student succeed on our campus? And so if there's enough things pointing in the right direction, then we're going to make an offer of admission. We're truly test optional when it comes to admission and financial aid, so you can be fully considered for both without test scores. And in fact, academic scholarships are going to be included in your offer of admission and will range anywhere from $15,000 to $22,000. And then, like I said, nothing is binding in any way, shape, or form. And I think I left 2 seconds.
Great. Thank you very much, Butler University. I'm going to move over to our next presenter, which is going to be DePauw University.
All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Natalie Lugg. I'm an associate director here at DePauw University. DePauw is a private liberal arts institution. We're technically a university because about 1,800 of our students are in the College of Liberal Arts, and a little under 200 students are in our School of Music. So we do technically have 2 schools on our campus. A lot of fluidity, though, between the 2 schools. You'll see some economics majors in orchestras. You'll see some vocalists taking Chem Lab. So it's not so much of a dividing line between the 2 schools, but more of an opportunity for students to explore musical interests if they've had them throughout their time in high school and they want to continue them, whether that's as an official graduate of the School of Music, or if someone who just wants to dabble in the music side of things, but still have so many other interests in the College of Liberal Arts. But I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. DePauw University is very close to Butler, actually. We're just 45 minutes west of Indianapolis. You fly into Indianapolis Regional or International Airport, and you just drive actually 35 minutes from there. We're in the middle of everywhere. People like to say that's definitely the optimist in me. Just 3.5 hours east of St. Louis, west of Columbus, Ohio, south of Chicago, and just 2.5 hours from Cincinnati, a little bit farther from Nashville as well. But that offers a lot of opportunities to go off campus and connect, whether it's networking with alumni, get that paid internship that you're looking for, make sure that you guys are getting career experience. But on this slide, you'll see just some fun statistics, some fun rankings that are the most up to date for us. Average class size is about 17 students. So Butler mentioned that you guys are going to continue to have, relationships with professors at institutions like them, but also like DePauw. So with the smaller class sizes, we really emphasize relationship building, whether that's in the class with professors or talking to them about a research opportunity over the summer and applying for a grant to get paid to do research, connecting with our alumni to, again, find that internship that you're looking for. For us, it's communicating and making sure that we're getting you in touch with all different types of resources with the tight-knit community that we have. And that kind of leads into our experiential learning process. That is something that we really push our students to embrace. As much as we love having you on campus for all 4 years, we also want to shove you off campus so that you can really learn and figure out where you're going next after you achieve your Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor's of Music. We have a 4-1-4-1 system in place where you'll have 4 classes in fall and spring semester, or you could go off campus for a study abroad opportunity, for a paid internship, for that research opportunity, or you could participate in one of our winter term or May term extended studies opportunities. So we really, again, emphasize that experiential learning, taking what you're learning in the classroom and applying that to the real world, whether that's across campus through one of our 120 clubs and organizations, whether it's through connections with the professors and friends that you're making on campus, or through these experiential learning opportunities. We have every single year, about 65% of our students will participate in some sort of study abroad program, or 90% will actually go off campus. So that could be that internship. Yes, it could be that study abroad. It could be for a full semester, or it could just be for a quick little trip in the month of January and May. We have students who go off to Thailand, to Japan, to the Galapagos, to Ghana, to Costa Rica. Europe is obviously super popular, but we really want to make sure that we're giving you the resources to go off campus, but also on campus to make sure that you're really setting yourself up for success, not just throughout your 4 years at DePauw, but also afterwards. So that's something to keep in mind, is that we really, again, want to make sure that you're getting that opportunity to really focus on what your career pathway is all about. But 47 majors on our campus as well, 51 different minors. Our students have until second semester of their sophomore year to officially declare, but it's also super popular within that exploration in that first year and a half on campus. You're going to find a lot of different academic interests. So it's pretty popular for a student to have a double major, or at least a major and a minor. Some of our top majors are economics, English writing, psychology and neuroscience, computer science, as well as political science. So yes, for a liberal arts institution, I think a lot of people think that humanities is the only thing that we are priding ourselves on, but a lot of our students are also still very involved in the sciences, in the quantitative reasoning side of things. On the application processes, we are on the Common App, and like Butler, we also have our own application, the DePauw app. It doesn't matter whichever one you choose. We do a holistic review approach as well, where we're looking at every single piece of your application for reasons to admit you, not reasons to deny. So that's something to keep in mind. We've been test optional. This is, I think, our 3rd year going test optional as well. It doesn't affect your admissibility. It doesn't affect your chances for merit scholarship. And this past year, we were able to award students between $18,000 and $35,000 in merit scholarship alone as well. We do have FAFSA as well for students who are thinking about applying for financial aid, which I know opens up tomorrow, October 1st. So students can start applying and getting that in as quickly as they can, just so that they can get then their financial aid materials and their financial aid package to them as quickly as possible as well. But we have other outside scholarships beyond just merit that revolve around ethics, that revolve around service and leadership. So we're here to be your best advocate to make sure that DePauw is also an affordable option for you, as well as a good academic fit and extracurricular fit. So thanks for having me, guys. Pleasure.
Great. Thank you very much, DePauw. As we transition over to our next presenter, I just want to remind all the attendees, since we've had a few more people sign on since we began, that you are welcome and encouraged to engage with our presenters through the Q&A function, and you can do that at any time and to any presenter, or just send general questions. So please do use that. Up next is Indiana University Bloomington.
All right, well, welcome everybody. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. My name is Matt Gillum. I'm a Senior Assistant Director of Admissions at Indiana University, Bloomington. I'm sorry that I'm not able to be with you in Colorado today. I know I missed my annual trip there, but grateful to have this time to talk about IU with you virtually tonight. So a little bit about us. We are a large research institution. We have about 33,000 undergraduate students on our campus, and those students are coming to us from all 50 states and about 140 countries across the world. So our campus is a great place where you can go out every single day and meet people from all walks of life and learn from their experiences. We also have a lot to offer you academically. We have more than 200 majors you can choose from in our 12 academic schools. Some highlights here is our Kelley School of Business is consistently ranked in the top 10 undergraduate business programs in the country. We have the Luddy School of Informatics, Computing, and Engineering. IU has always had very strong informatics and computer science programs, but we recently created a new degree program called Intelligent Systems Engineering, where our students are working with small-scale mobile technology. We also have the College of Arts and Sciences. You can choose from up to 80 different liberal arts majors, and our Hamilton Lugar School of Global and International Studies. Fun fact, you can actually study more than 70 languages on our campus, and that's more than any other public university. If 200 majors isn't quite enough for you, we also have an individualized major program that allows students to work with our advisors on campus and craft an academic program that's tailored to them and their interests. So as you can see there, more than 200 majors that we offer, so a little bit of something for everyone. We also give you some time to declare that major. You have up to 2 years to declare your major at IU. So if you're not quite sure what you're interested in studying, you can come in as an exploratory student. You'll still have time to find your way in your academic fit and still graduate in 4 years. You're gonna have the opportunity to work with some amazing faculty members on our campus. They are world-class leaders in their fields, doing amazing research, sharing all that in the classroom with you. And they're gonna be accessible to you as well. All of our professors do hold office hours during the week and are more than willing to make time for you outside of those office hours to connect as well. You'll see here that our average class size is about 30 students, so maybe a little bit smaller than you would think of for a large Big Ten university. And our student to faculty ratio is about 16:1. Now, just as my colleagues have talked about, you're gonna get a great education at IU, but you're also gonna have the opportunity to take what you're learning and apply that in the real world as well. Our students are doing research on our campus. We are a Tier 1 research institution, which means that there are research opportunities for our undergraduate students, not just in the sciences, but in the arts, in humanities, and in many other disciplines across our campus. Students are also getting involved in internships and trying out new careers that they might be interested in. And once again, getting that real world, hands-on, tangible experience that they're looking to put on their resume and really have something to engage with employers when they're doing interviews. If you are interested in studying abroad for your college experience, IU is a great place to do so. We're actually number 6 in the country in terms of number of students that participate in overseas study programs each year. We have almost 380 programs that we offer in more than 65 countries. You can speak up to 18 languages, including English. So much to do outside of the classroom, more than 750 student organizations ranging from Greek life to religious, social, culturally affiliated organizations, athletic clubs. If there's something that you did in high school, we probably have some form of it on our campus. And if not, we want you to bring it to IU and get it started as well. We do participate in Division I athletics in the Big Ten Conference, and we offer 24 men's and women's varsity sports. We also have more than 55 club and intramural sports and some amazing recreational facilities on our campus to help you stay fit all throughout the year. If arts and culture is more your thing, we are a great community for that. We host more than 1,500 performances on our campus each year, some from our amazing Jacob School music students and some from touring Broadway shows, musicians and speakers from around the world in our amazing IU auditorium. If you've never been to Bloomington, it is a great city to live in. It really gives you the quintessential college town feel. If you're looking for great food, we're actually number 2 for per capita international restaurants behind New York City. We have great arts and culture with local theater, amazing art festivals like the Lotus World Arts Festival that comes to Bloomington each and every year, and some great opportunities to get connected to the community for service work if that's something that you're interested in. All right, let's talk about how to apply. So those of you that are seniors, I know this is on your mind right now. We've got 3 different application platforms that you can utilize. We do have the Apply IU application, which allows students to apply to any of our campuses around the state. We're also going to be on that common application and the coalition application. We don't have a preference for which one you submit. We review them all using the same criteria. We are also test optional this year and moving forward, so we do not require a test score in order to be considered for admission. Also don't require a test score in order to be considered for scholarships. A few things that you'll send to us, that application, your high school transcript, test scores if applicable, as well as a $65 application fee or a fee waiver. Big date to remember is November 1st is our early action non-binding deadline. Also our deadline to be automatically considered for academic scholarships at IU. A few things that we're looking at when we're reviewing applications, we do take a holistic approach. So we're looking at your college prep work and focusing on those core academic classes, your math, English, science, social studies, and foreign language courses, your test scores if you submit them, your performance in those courses, your GPA, grade trends as well. And then finally, our application essay will be reviewed. And skip a couple of these for time here. Just a timeline for admission. Do encourage you to apply by November 1st. You'll hear back no later than January 15th. If you do miss that November 1st deadline, we encourage you to apply by our regular decision deadline of February 1st. And I think that's all I had. Thank you all so much for joining us today. Feel free to reach out or ask some questions in the Q&A if you do have additional questions. Thank you so much.
Great, thank you, Indiana University. So up next on our presentation schedule is Purdue University.
Good evening, everyone. Hey, good evening, everyone. My name is Janiyah Downing. I'm one of the Associate Directors of Admissions at Purdue University. First off, thank you for taking the time to hear us all talk about our different colleges and experiences that we have. I set my timer for exactly 6 minutes, or at this point, 5 minutes and 43 seconds, and we'll get going. So some of you know a little bit about Purdue, but so hopefully I can fill in a few gaps for everyone. First off, we are a mid-major size university. About 44,000 students attend Purdue University. About a little over half are from the great state of Indiana, but about 34% of our students come from all over the country, including the great state of Colorado. So we know that you are looking for a diverse school with different interests and different types of people, different philosophies, different walks of life. So we are very happy to offer a university that has a large Indiana, out-of-state, and international population. If you've never been to Purdue, we're kind of on the map where the little P is, just south of Chicago and just north of Indiana. West Lafayette and Lafayette are about 172,000 people collectively. So we're not the biggest city in Indiana, but we're not the smallest. We're a nice little community just north of Indianapolis. And we got a nice little college town feel when you look at our community. A couple of ways that you can grow in your academics. We are a Research One institution. So we want you to dive deep into your research experience as early as your freshman year. We have a National Cancer Institute. So you can be a biology or a theater major, regardless of that. If you want to do research, you can be doing research in that space. We also have an honors college. It's a residential honors college, which we're very, very proud of. You will get that research built into your college experience. You'll live in one of our honors residence halls. You'll take classes that are only taught by graduate professors. So they're bringing their research into your undergraduate experience. And in undergrad, you will finish by writing a thesis or doing a scholarly research project upon graduation. So it's a great program for anyone who really doesn't want to sleep at all when they're in college. We also have our Entrepreneurship and Innovation program. And I understand I'm talking a little bit quickly. Don't worry, I'll be answering in the Q&A all night. But the Entrepreneurship and Innovation program is not a major or minor. It's 5 classes that are going to tell you everything you need to know about how to start your own business regardless of your major. We have our Cornerstone Integrated Liberal Arts program. As a large research-based institution with a great reputation in engineering, many people think that all we are really good at is the sciences, engineering, building rockets. But Cornerstone marries our liberal arts programs with many of our engineering and STEM-focused programs. So not only will you be doing multivariable calculus, but you'll be learning about Shakespeare, and you'll be reading books from the great philosophers of our time, and learning about sociology and anthropology and how to work with different communities. That's what Cornerstone can offer you. Degree Plus is a great program if you are one of those people that wants to answer questions that do not exist yet. questions that again tie in liberal arts studies with the STEM fields and computer science. These are some of the programs that you can kind of build your own major in between those two areas. We also have our cultural centers. One of my favorite parts of our university, 5 distinct cultural centers that are going to help you all learn a lot more about the world around you. Places like the ARC, the Asian American and Asian Resource and Cultural Center, the LGBTQ plus center, the Native American Educational Cultural Center, LGBTQ plus center, and the Black Cultural Center all on our campus. How will you be successful? It'll be challenging. We have great programs here to help you, like our Academic Success Center. It's going to give you all the tools you need for writing, for coaching, for time management. We have our Academic Innovations, which bring real technical solutions to help you in the classroom. Things as simple as texting your professor during a lecture to make sure you're on the same page with them are available on our campus for all of our students. We have our CCO. They're ranked #3 in the nation for getting students the jobs they want right out of college. Living on our campus, we don't require it. That's the one thing I want to point out. All of us have residence halls. Many of us have really unique experiences, but at Purdue, we do not require you to live on our campus. You're an adult. So if you choose to live on our campus, you're more than welcome to take advantage of that. We have great spaces, great dining experiences for you as well. Award-winning campus dining. We take food very seriously on our campus. If you're worried about gaining weight when you go to college, in any respect, please don't come to Purdue. We will guarantee you that. The food is amazing. We just opened 2 new residence halls with 4 different restaurant options, which are amazing, and they are going to be so tempting when you come to us. So for that reason, we have involvement. Get involved. We have nearly 1,000 clubs and organizations, a world-class recreational sports center that you all will be members of from the start of your time at Purdue. You also can join some of our club or intramural sports, or like our friends at Indiana University, we're a part of the Big Ten, which is a fun, engaging environment, great games. I know we're all in the middle of social distancing and being smart, and we have a great plan called Protect Purdue, but we are still able to play, and we're able to keep our athletes and our students safe on our campus. And it's really cool to see them, the competition and the rivalries that exist within the Big Ten. Now, with my last 35 seconds, about that admissions piece? Well, first off, these are the 5 things we ask every student to send us when they apply. First is a common application. You're going to answer a few Purdue questions. We do self-reported grades and test scores at Purdue. So when you apply, you get to self-report your every class and grades you have in high school and your test scores. We also are test flexible this year, which means if you have a test score, send it. If you don't have a test score, it will not negatively impact you with respect to admission or scholarship. There's an essay and a $60 application fee or waiver. We also approach holistic review with our university. We have 11 different colleges and 200 plus majors. And with us, we do direct admission. So what you see on the screen here are all of our colleges. If you're admitted to nursing, you're in nursing. If you're admitted to engineering, you're in engineering. There's no way around that. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. We look at everything that you send us to decide if you're admitted. Every piece of you is important in the admissions process, but I want to show you guys the cost because I think it's very, very important. For the 9th year in a row, we've frozen our tuition for Indiana residents, non-residents, and international students. So whatever category you fall into, you're paying the exact same thing that was being paid in 2011, 2012. We plan to keep it that way for as long as possible. Thank you for your time and have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much, Purdue University. Before we move on to our next presenter, just a quick reminder to any students who've joined us. You are welcome to send questions to any of the panelists at any time using the Q&A function. Up next is Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology.
All right. Hello, and thank you all so much for tuning in this evening. I'm Ashlyn Fortner. I'm an assistant director in the Office of Admissions at Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology. I'm so excited to be presenting alongside many other wonderful Indiana schools. I am a Hoosier girl through and through, and we have a lot to offer in our state. So thank you so much for considering our Indiana institutions. So Rose-Hulman is located in Terre Haute, Indiana. We are about an hour directly west of Indianapolis. So we're about half an hour from DePauw, about 2 hours directly south of Purdue. So we're located really close to Illinois. We have about 2,200 undergraduate students. We're very much so an undergraduate focused school. If you've heard of Rose-Hulman before, you probably think of us as an engineering school, which is very true. However, we also offer majors in math and the sciences. So we have 18 different STEM degrees. We do have graduate programs, but our graduate school is very small. That's why we're more undergraduate focused. We've been ranked the #1 undergraduate engineering school in the country for the last 22 years in a row. So we are very, very proud of that. And like many of my other schools that have presented tonight, we try to keep our classes as small as possible. Average class sizes for our students are around 20. We don't have lecture halls at all, so the largest class you could expect to be in on Rose's campus is a max of about 30 students. Okay, so a couple things I want to focus on tonight are our education piece and our faculty piece. Like I said, we're an undergraduate focused institution. I already mentioned that we do have grad programs, but we really focus in on undergraduate students. When you come in as a freshman, you have access to any lab on campus. You have access to start doing research, to get involved with internships and clubs that work along with your major. So really nothing is off limits. You can start doing research with a faculty member. You can get in a lab in your free time. Really the sky's the limit at Rose-Hulman. The other really nice thing is that our faculty are absolutely wonderful. We are an education-focused school versus being a research-focused school, so we're a little bit different. That does not mean that our students don't do research. You know, I've already mentioned to you that research happens on campus, and that's true. Our faculty were hired to be full-time educators, and we're really proud of that. So they're 100% on board to be available for our students all the time. So pretty much Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, they're on campus. If they're not teaching a class, they're expected to be available to help students out. So really they're kind of your first point of contact if you have questions with any of your courses while you're on campus versus going to a tutor or a resource center, but we have those too. So I mentioned the open door policy. Faculty are 100% dedicated to our students' learning. We don't have grad students or teaching assistants teaching in any courses, so you can expect to have a full-time PhD faculty member teaching all your courses and labs, which we really love having. And our students form a wonderful bond with their faculty member. Typically, faculty will even give out their phone numbers, and you can call them of an evening sometimes if you have questions or having problems with the class. So we really like to brag on our faculty, as they really help make Rose-Hulman who we are. Another thing that helps Rose-Hulman really stand out, in my opinion, is our career opportunities. You get this wonderful education, and so we like to pair it with an absolute wonderful internship, co-op, or research experiences. So when you come into Rose-Hulman as a freshman, you immediately get 2 advisors. You get a faculty advisor, which is a faculty member, and you get a career advisor, which is a staff member, and you'll start working with these individuals all 4 years while you're on campus. So you dive right in, even if you have no experience having any type of STEM background. You'll start meeting with your career advisor. You'll start working towards applying to internships. They'll help you with your resume, all that good stuff. And you're there with that person from freshman year on to senior year, and they'll help you decide between job offers. So as you can see in this picture, our career fair was actually today. It was virtual. It did not look like that, unfortunately, but that is an idea of what our career fair usually looks like. We bring over 350 companies to campus to recruit for internships, co-ops, and research experiences, as well as full-time jobs. All of the internships, co-ops, and research experiences at Rose are paid opportunities. So you're able to make a little bit of money, hopefully, over the summer while you're doing these internships or co-ops. Companies come from all over the country to recruit our students, so they're not just locally based in the area. or in the Midwest even. We bring students to California, down to Texas to do internships. And so many students will do internships all 3 years. So about 94% of students will do at least one internship. About 70% of our students will do 2 internships, and about 30% of our students will do 3 or more internships. So we find that about 70% of our seniors will come in before they even start classes their senior year with a job offer already in hand. On average, students will receive 2 to 3 job offers, so they'll continue to network with companies while they're on campus senior year, and about 90% of our students are placed in a job at graduation, with our placement rate within 6 months after graduation being right around 97 to 98% every year. Average starting salary for our students was over $73,000 in 2019. I should have the 2020 data pretty much any day now, so we're excited to see that. I forgot to start my timer, so I'm not sure where I'm at. I'm probably about done. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rose-Hulman. And now we're going to move into our final school for the evening, St. Mary's College.
All right, sorry about that. Had a little bit of a difficulty sharing my screen. All right, so my name is Rachel Meehan, and I am the Associate Director of Admission Marketing at St. Mary's College. St. Mary's College is a small private women's college in Notre Dame, Indiana. We are located right next to South Bend, Indiana, which is in northern Indiana. We're about an hour and a half from Chicago. And we really pride ourselves on the individualized education that we give our students. We have about 1,600 total undergraduate students on campus. Our average class size is about 16. We have a 10-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So what that means is you really get to know your professors very, very well. You are not able to hide in our classes. Our professors will notice if you're struggling. They'll be there if you need help. And so from the time you first begin working with admission all the way through your years as alumni, you really get to know that, that kind of personalized attention that you'll get at St. Mary's. We are a liberal arts institution, but we do have quite a few STEM programs as well. We have over 50 academic programs, including things like communication studies, business, biology, nursing, psychology, and education are all sort of our more popular majors. We do have some unique programs as well, including a co-engineering program with the University of Notre Dame that I'll get into in a future slide. And then we also have a great speech-language pathology program, both at the undergraduate and graduate level, and some great clinical experience right here on our campus with regard to that, because we do actually have a language clinic on our campus. We also have a student design major, which is really, really helpful for our students. If they want to sort of make something a little more personal to them, they can combine majors and minors to create a major of their own. We also have some wonderful research opportunities for our students, both here at St. Mary's and across the street at the University of Notre Dame. Because our professors get to know our students so well, they're really able to bring them into the research that they're doing already. And actually all of our students in just about every single major create a senior comprehensive project. So within our STEM majors, that's usually some sort of research. Our music majors might be composing a piece or doing a performance. Art majors will be doing, creating artwork. But every student comes out of St. Mary's with something sort of to show for their major. So it's great for getting a job, getting into grad school, be it because you actually have a piece of research or a performance or something that you've created that you're able to show how you learned your major. Now, you may have caught at the beginning, I mentioned we are a women's college. We are co-ed for our graduate programs, but at the undergrad level, we are a women's college. And what that means for our students is that they really get a very transformative, empowering experience. So it really helps our students to find their voices. We like to say the leaders of every student group on campus is a woman, so you get a lot of leadership opportunities as well. And we find that our students, when they come into our campus, a lot of them say that they chose St. Mary's because they fell in love with the campus, they fell in love with the experience, but they were a little leery of the women's college thing, and they just kind of went with it because they loved us so much. But by the time our students graduate, they say that it's one of the most impactful things about their experience here is that women's college experience. And you can see some of the benefits of a women's college here on my slide. These are stats for women's college alumni as a whole, not necessarily just St. Mary's, but it really speaks towards the impact of that, that type of education. And the results sort of speak for themselves. So 95% of our recent grads were employed or enrolled full-time in graduate school by a year out. And there are a few things that do that, even aside from our wonderful education that we offer. We have a great career crossings office that works with our students on their resumes, on their cover letters, interview help, things like that, and also put on career fairs. And one of the nice things about St. Mary's is that we do have a great relationship with Notre Dame that I'll get into in a minute. So not only do you get access to the career fairs on St. Mary's campus, but you get access to the Notre Dame career fairs as well. So there are many opportunities to really get that dream job and to be able to sort of meet with employers from all over the country at these wonderful career fairs. And you can see some of the places that our students are going for their jobs and then for their graduate degrees as well. Trying to go quick here, 6 minutes is not much time. And our value is really priceless. We work really, really hard to make sure that this is an affordable education for our students. So 100% of our students do receive some form of financial aid. Every student is automatically considered for merit scholarships when they apply, and those merit scholarships this year will range between $15,000 and $30,000. So we really try to make sure that this is truly affordable for our students. And one part of making that affordable is actually making sure that our students graduate within 4 years, that you're not paying for a 5th year or a 6th year of that education. About 91% of our graduates actually graduate in 4 years, and we do have a 4-year promise for our students that basically says if you stick to the rules of the promise, which are sort of what you would expect. There are things like no academic probation, no changing your major last minute. We guarantee that you'll graduate in 4 years, and we'll actually pay for any classes that you need over that 4-year mark. We're also very proud of our rank within U.S. News and World Report. We're consistently ranked in the top 100 national liberal arts colleges, and this year we're actually number 47 for best value schools. So I've mentioned it a few times, our connection to the University of Notre Dame. So we are in Notre Dame, Indiana, along with the University of Notre Dame and Holy Cross College right down the street. We form a great tri-campus community that's mutually beneficial for all the parties involved. We are separate institutions, but we do work together on quite a few things. One of those is academics. As I mentioned, we do have a co-engineering program with the University of Notre Dame. Students in that program graduate in 5 years with degrees from both St. Mary's and Notre Dame. Our students are also able to take classes at Notre Dame or Holy Cross starting their sophomore year. That's a class per semester for their sophomore and junior years, and then 2 classes per semester their senior years. And then clubs and organizations at Notre Dame are open to our students as well, and our students actually get student tickets to Notre Dame football games and sit in the student section with Notre Dame students. So real quick, I'll run through our admission process because I see my time is almost up. We do have 2 ways to apply. We are on the Common App, and then we also have the St. Mary's Dare to Discover application. Both are free applications. We also have early decision and regular decision. Early decision is a binding decision, and you can see the deadlines on the screen here. We are also test optional. We've been test optional for a few years now, so if that is a way that you'd like to apply, there is no detriment to that with regards to being admitted or scholarships. It's just a different way to apply. And with that, I will turn over to Christopher. Thank you all so much for being here.
Okay, thank you very much, St. Mary's, and thank you to all of our presenters this evening. We do have just a couple minutes left, so it's a last chance for any of you attendees to get in a last Q&A session to any of the presenters. And it's also an opportunity. I'll open up the floor to any presenter who wishes to ask a question and then answer it that they think attendees may ask or should ask, general questions about process, etc. Not required, but the floor is open to any one of you, and attendees, please feel free to ask any additional questions. Then I will ask this question very quickly. Everybody maybe go around. What is your favorite part of your campus that you did not get to present on today? A special part of campus, a special part of town. What is your favorite part of your school? And why don't we start with Butler?
I think I'm legally obligated to say Hinkle Fieldhouse, where our men's basketball team plays. So if anybody's a fan of 80s movies, that's where they filmed the final game in Hoosiers. But that's it's just one of the best historic old barns in all of college basketball.
Great, thank you very much. DePauw?
I have to say the ice cream. We've got some great ice cream shops in Greencastle, so I've done the circuit. Scoops, Dairy Castle, and yes, Dairy Queen.
Great, thank you. Indiana University Bloomington?
Hard to pick one, but I would say kind of our tradition. So, IU basketball is huge. We have the Little 500, which is an amazing bike race each spring. So I think all those unique things that IU offers that makes us special.
Great, thank you. Purdue?
Candidly, is the food. Like, I know we talk about food in a few respects, but oh my gosh, like I work at Purdue. I can go anywhere I want or bring my lunch to work, and I go to the dining centers as often as I can. Like, I'm more excited about going to the dining centers than eating what I have made, and I think I can cook pretty well. So the food, any of our dining centers, it is an awesome dining experience at Purdue.
Great, thank you. Rose-Hulman?
Oh, this is so hard. There's so many wonderful things about Rose, but honestly, I think my favorite thing is like on a really calm morning when it's kind of like hazy out and you look over the pond we have on campus and the view of all our dorms that kind of surround the lake. I just think the view is so pretty and like peaceful.
Great. And St. Mary's?
I'm going to be cheesy and say the community. It really is a very close-knit community. It's a very small campus, so people really get to know each other very well. And it's a very welcoming community that I thoroughly enjoy.
Great, thank you very much. I want to definitely thank all of our presenters and all of our attendees for joining this evening. Just a quick note, when I end this session, you'll get a quick 4-question survey that we ask you to complete, give us some feedback. We also again remind you to sign up for more sessions at the same website where you signed up for this session. And again, in about 1 week's time, a recording will be available of this session at that same sign up website. So thank you all very much. Have a great evening and good luck in your college search.